And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Nelson Vasquez from Florida. It's 3 p.m. on the 17th of June, 2025. Thank you for being here. We are going live on multiple channels. I don't even know all the Dr. Kiltz channels that are set should be live right now. And so I have multiple of them. And today we're going to talk in a minute with Mr. Mann, Mr. K. Mann Jr. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
If you're not a member of the Kiltz Mighty Tribe, please go to the description. The link is there for sign up. Kiltz Mighty Tribe is free, so you have no excuse. Go there and sign up. Most people that are here on a regular are members, of course, but if you're not, go to the link in the description. We also have in the description a link to the Boston meetup. If you're still thinking about it, all VIP seats are sold out. Is that correct, Kerry?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, they are sold out. That's what I saw just yesterday. But there's still some tickets. So 28th of June in Boston, Massachusetts, right in Boston, we're going to be, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and the lineup that we have. It's actually quite extensive lineup of people, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So, Kerry, we didn't prepare anything to talk today, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Q&A, and I want you to put your questions. Please precede them with a QQQ so I can pick them out easily. And Carrie's going to answer all the questions. I'm not going to answer questions today. Okay? I might. But Carrie has had the good fortune of interviewing and doing an intensive training in Carnivore for the past year and a half at least. Well,
2
it's
years.
been 2 years. It's been 2 years since you've been over 2 years you've been Carnivore. But when you decided to do a documentary, you started this journey of talking to experts, talking to people who have gone through the experience of reversing so many chronic diseases that we're not supposed to reverse. We're just supposed to treat and manage, but not necessarily reverse, right? And so you have heard from the experts, you have learned from your own experience how to handle uh, perceived problems with the carnivore diet and how to handle the answers about the carnivore diet. So, is that okay? Did I put you on a bad spot there?
No, let's do it.
Okay. So, thank you for being here. We have Jay, we have George, Papa Carnivore, of course. No Carb Barb, thank you for being here. Tommy Jordan, uh, Brian, Caleb's Carnivore Quest is here. Maybe I should show what happened between Dr. Kiltz and I on Caleb's arm wrestling table.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes. Sandy, George, thank you for being here, everybody. I'm not going to be able to go through the list because it's already mounting up on numbers. But why don't you why don't you give us a very your elevator pitch story on Carnivore? Because I think everything started there for you and for many others, including me, because I wasn't in this world at all. I knew people ate only meat. I was aware of that for a few years, but I thought they were completely crazy. And some other people from the outside still think that we are crazy. But now I'm part of one of the crazies, one of the weird ones.
Welcome to the group.
Yes. So, Kerry, go ahead.
Yeah, so my carnivore story, I was very sick for a long time, many years. I was 100 pounds heavier at my worst. I had IBS. I was snoring. The worst issue for me was depression and anxiety, which I suffered with for many years. I tried all sorts of medications, and the doctors told me that I was depressed because chemical imbalance in my brain. There's just something wrong with me. I'm just a fluke, genetics. We don't know what it is, but here's more medication for you. And a couple of years ago, I suffered a TIA mini stroke at home. I got confused. My lip was drooping. I couldn't find my words. I went to the hospital for about 5 days. I was in the stroke unit. They did a whole bunch of tests on me. I was on statins and heart medication when I did all of that. And they diagnosed me with congestive heart failure with a low ejection fraction. And then I found Carnivore 820 days ago. I found Carnivore from watching a YouTube video from my hero, Dante Ferrigno, who shared his story. And when I heard his story, it was like hearing my own words. He was suffering the same things I was suffering from and using the same words I was using. And I saw his incredible healing and decided to start Carnivore. And yeah, that was 820 days ago. I didn't start right away. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I watched Dr. Barry. I watched Dr. Kiltz. I came across Dr. Chafee and Dr. Hampton early on also. Saw Dr. Jordan Peterson on Joe Rogan talking about overcoming his depression and stop snoring. And yeah, I started Carnivore and had some incredible results pretty quickly. And on 30 days, I did a video on my YouTube channel, Homestead How, which was mostly just chickens and goats and making greenhouses. I'm like, I'm going to do one video because this is insane. This is remarkable how much healing I've had. And that video kind of went crazy. And then I started hearing more and more stories. And yeah, on day 67, which was about 2 years ago, we announced, let's just do a documentary about this whole carnivore thing, because there's a lot of great documentaries on the keto diet, but I don't see any documentaries about carnivore. And I am seeing so much incredible healing, story after story of people healing on this thing. We should do a documentary about it.
All righty. I think I don't know if that was a live that you did with your daughter, because that particular video was with Emma. I think you had pre-recorded and published, but I saw it the day it was published. And you made the. Do you regret that decision, Kerry?
I don't now. When I made that decision, though, I had no idea what I was getting into. And just real quick, a documentary I had saw years ago was called Fathead, and it was on Netflix, and it was all about the ketogenic diet. And it had a huge impact on my life. I did keto after that, and I had success, but I yo-yoed over and over again and ultimately failed. But the guy that did that documentary, he was just a stand-up comedian, kind of like you, Dr. Nelson. But he filmed a documentary, and I swear he filmed it on like an old camcorder. The quality was kind of bad, but the information was incredible. And he did a really good job. And so in my head, when I announced it, I'm like, I got this phone. Like, I do YouTube stuff. We'll just do it. But we have since it's since become a monster, a beast compared to what we thought. But I'm very thankful because we finished filming for the main documentary. We filmed Dr. Sean Baker about a week or so ago, and that was our final and 60th interview for the documentary, but also the series. Not all of the interviews are going to be in the main documentary, or it'd be too long, but I'm very glad that I decided to do it, but we still have a lot of hard work ahead of us, editing everything and putting it all together and marketing everything.
Well, I am glad you didn't chicken out. You were building chicken coops, Anyways, I think many of us are glad you have done that. We're hoping for this to really inform and reach out a lot of people who may have misconceptions about this way of eating. It is, when you look at it, is it complicated or is it simple? I mean, many people have the misconception that, oh, if you're not eating your fruits and vegetables, you're gonna die. And it just a change in diet. You don't have to ask permission to you for your doctor's permission to make a change in your diet. You can try for a week, for a month, for 3 months. You're in control of your health. So, all right. So we already have a few questions here. I do have a couple of comments, and I'm going to call you out a little bit. I already told you this in private because you were telling me about some residual, we call those signs. We call symptoms is what you feel, what we find on your body, we call those signs. And you still have a little droop on your face
Yeah.
from the time you had a stroke. By definition, you didn't have a mini stroke or TIA, you had a full stroke because transient ischemic attack or TIA, it's supposed to resolve within 24 hours. By definition, you have to establish a time if you want to make a differentiation. And 24 hours and 1 minute later, if you're not 100% symptom free, it's no longer a TIA, it's a full stroke. And I don't think you've had a follow-up MRI, have you?
I have not. No, I had a
No.
whole bunch that week,
Yeah.
but nothing
I'm sure
after that.
I'm sure if we did an MRI with and without contrast, we probably see the spot that you had that stroke. Regardless, you're doing fantastic anyways. Number two, statins. So statins do have a very small positive effect in extending your lifetime, your life expectancy. Some people calculate it at 5 days, 7 days.
Right.
But will you be surprised that there is a medication very well known that probably extends your life expectancy 5, 6 times more than statins do? When we're talking about diseases, the ultimate thing is affecting all cause mortality. And statins have a very minimal effect. Guess what has about 6 times the potency or 6 times the life extension more than statins?
Ribeye.
Well,
Oh, we're talking about medicine.
no, I'm talking about medication. It's sildenafil, Viagra.
Really?
Extends.
That's one I wasn't on. That was one of the
Yeah.
few that I wasn't on.
So the reason is Viagra increases your nitric oxide. Nitric oxide increases, has a lot of positive effects, and Viagra would be more effective. And the statistics show this. There are a couple of studies, I don't have them at hand, where Viagra will probably increase your life expectancy more than the statins would. Hey,
The thing I would love to know about the statins is, it's crazy to me that it extends your life by, what did you say, 3 or 5 days? And isn't that after you have to take the statins religiously for decades? You may get 3 or 5 more days. But then at what cost? That's the question I want to know. Brain fog, or what other costs are there to that I think are hard to measure?
One of the most important to me would be this, and is that it has, in particular, the atorvastatin, looking at the package insert, the main study that's there, it has the absolute risk increase, absolute risk decrease of cardiovascular events is 1.1%. Okay. Not the relative, which is what they use to sell the drug, by the way. So they are not lying when they go to the doctor and convince the doctor, well, it's going to decrease 36, 38%, I think is the number, heart attacks, but they're talking about relative risk, not absolute risk. And the absolute risk decrease is only 1.1%. This is based on their own study. The absolute risk increase of developing diabetes when on those two medications is somewhere between 1.6 and 1.9%. So diabetes has almost 10 times more risk of cardiovascular events than LDL ever does. So anyways, the last comment I had, you mentioned Dante Ferrigno. He was in the Zoom call at the Kiltz Body Tribe yesterday, and we had a great time. Now, I have a special guest. I'm going to bring him up.
Hey! How's it going, Dr. Kiltz?
I don't hear you. Do you hear him, Kerry?
Just tiny bit, a little.
Yeah, it's like. You're not muted, so might be the speaker selection. Or the microphone selection.
Oh, hello.
There we
How
go.
about now? Yes,
There we
okay.
go.
Microphone on Alexa is located on the top of the device.
Hold on a second.
By the way, you have a new notification.
Alexa, shut up.
Kerry, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm all packed and ready to go. I got an Uber coming to get me pretty soon. I'm going to LA. I'm going to the animal showing today with
Nice.
I think I'll see Bella and Max and Lisa and Chris Brandlin. We're maybe going to do dinner at a steakhouse, Brazilian place in Hollywood. If we could get around the protesters, I'm not not sure yet.
Right?
Yes, and then the show, and then I'm flying to Sarasota tomorrow. So
That's exciting.
I've been hanging out with my.
I was gonna say, I'm really looking forward to seeing the animal documentary. I've heard a lot about it. People keep asking me about it. I don't know that much about it. The only thing I keep saying is, when I decided to do Healing Humanity, I said this over and over again. I wish there were 10 or 15 carnivore diet documentaries. The more, the better.
And we know that you have to be patient in the process of really perfect content, and you're doing such an amazing job. But we're not in a rush. We know when it shows up, it'll be perfect timing, all going to be great, and it's stories, which is going to be very different. You're going to be telling and sharing stories of human beings that have suffered and have healed on Carnivore, and so many people here. Aunt B, hello to everyone, and I'm so glad. This is my home away from home in Irvine. Brother Ray, he gives me a guest room. I made steak for Ray, and we've been eating steak for a couple of days and taking good care of him, and he's been taking good. We did 6 miles yesterday. We did 3 miles hiking up in the hills. I did my backpack with the 20-pound weight carrying it, and it is good. We have to keep moving here.
Oh, yeah.
Ray and I are like the odd couple, frick and frack. You'd be like,
Nice.
it's crazy.
It's inspirational seeing you guys exercise like that. We filmed Dr. Baker, and he had Adam and me do the farmer's carry with 120 pounds around the driveway. And ever since I got back, my dumbbells are right over here off screen, and the girls, we're all going to do it. We're going to do that. We're calling it the Maggie Challenge, because when we filmed She lifted 100 pounds like it was
Oh,
nothing.
I saw that. Those buckets, she just lifts and moves. And I think that's really the trick, is it's got to be built into your everyday.
Yeah.
And it can't be, I got to go do this. And the beauty is we walk out the door, we go up the hill. There's a nice sidewalk going straight up the hill. Okay, what happened? I don't know. I just lost everyone.
You're here.
My computer went blank. You guys have me still?
I
Can you
hear
see
you.
me?
I
Yeah.
hear you, but you're frozen.
I'm frozen. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yes,
The
but
computer,
we hear you.
I
Keep
think it's a
talking.
new computer. Okay, wait a minute. It might be. Let me see. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know where I'm at anymore. Nope.
All right.
My camera went dead.
Okay.
We could
We
still
can
hear you.
hear you. We can still
can hear
hear
me.
you.
You guys, let me see. Let me try it. Oh,
There you go.
There we go.
all good.
Go ahead.
All good. So, it's just beautiful. Just go out. You can walk in the house. You just walk outside and start walking. You don't have to do very much. It doesn't take any special equipment at all. If you do 10 push-ups and I was on the walk, I would do, I got down, did some push-ups on the sidewalk, and I did some deep knee bends. And, Ray and I are competitors. We've been like this. Mike, he's 10 years older than I am. We've been crazy competitors for everyone, since I was a kid and he was an adult. Now he's the kid and I'm the adult.
Right? That's what it was like hanging out with Dr. Baker. That guy's the ultimate competitor, but it's no competition like between me and him. It's not even close. But after doing the challenge, I was like, man, there's so many things. I wish I could redo it again now, because had I gone faster, it's all about the grip strength. You start losing grip quickly before the legs go out, and learning all these things. But I'm looking forward to doing that again. Maybe at Meat Stock or something next year. I know Dr. Baker was doing some exercise challenge, get the grip strength up. But just doing a little bit every day. You reminded me, Dr. Kiltz, our good friend, Coach Lisa. Coach Lisa always says, do 1% every day. After 100 days, you're 100% better. I love that. Any little step in the right direction, consistency.
That's why I do my 100 push-ups first thing in the morning, and I'm working on doing 200 a day now. So morning and evening, and just keep on doing something. Keep it simple and stake your life on stake, and just keep at it. I've been on calls all morning in here in Irvine, and just talking to so many patients who the only reason I believe they're infertile is because of their diet, and infertility is on the rise. Endometriosis, PCOS, endometritis, uterine fibroids, all growing. And I believe a fatty meat diet is the healing thing. And we've seen so much benefit by doing that with so many diseases. And yes, infertility is a disease.
I've gotten to the point now, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, where not that I was questioning it, I understood the healing that happens to this, but after we finished our 60th interview, we interviewed Stephen Lashbrook, Anthony Haydick. I just did 2 interviews on my channel this morning. In fact, I think No Carb Barb is in the chat. I interviewed her earlier. You start hearing these stories over and over again. It's like again and again and again. It's like I get it now. It's finally there. They never get old, but just the quantity of them just blows my mind. And then you'll hear some people that are cynical saying, oh, those are just anecdotes. And it's like, I just interviewed No Carb Barb, and she had psoriasis and arthritis. And I'm like, gosh, that sounds familiar. Oh yeah, about a week ago, I interviewed Stephen Lashbrook, who had psoriasis and arthritis, and both completely off all of their medications, eating a carnivore diet. Hear the same stories over and over and over again. It's just amazing.
And this is why something that Dr. Kiltz happened to have said on a live stream that you had, and I remember these words, that as soon as he said that, definitely, it is the documented stories that matter. And that's why I love doing, these stories of healing, because the more we share, the more other people hear. At least they have, okay, maybe I can do this. It is not that crazy after all.
Yeah. That's become sort of the tagline for healing humanity. I'm so happy when Dr. Kiltz said that. We repeat it all the time. That and early on, Adam said, you know what? This is bigger than us. And so those two things, the documented stories and this is bigger than us. But just real quick, on the documented stories, I got to shout out my friend Lynn, Midlife Carnivore. You guys all know Lynn. She's amazing, right? So we filmed her for the documentary, and I've been following Lynn's YouTube channel forever. However, I'm pretty busy. I don't watch every single video. And talk about documenting your story. Lynn has had a video almost every week for 2 years now on Carnivore. And we filmed her for the documentary, and I'm like, it's great to have some of that earlier footage. I know you got a little bit of it, Lynn, and that's what I've been working on for the last 2 days, was going through for the documentary. The documentation that she's kept of her own stories, it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing. You can literally go see Lynn on like day 4 of Carnivore, and you see her now. You can't even recognize her. You can see her exercising on day 4 and see her exercising now, and she's just completely healed.
Yeah. She was with us last week, by the way, and before that, I happened to have run into a video of her exercising. Now, this was recently. She's doing things I would probably not do on camera. I congratulate her for that. And you can see actually the progress. I mean, she is doing fantastic.
Yeah, I think she's down over 130 pounds. But it's like the weight was an added benefit for all of the other healing that she went through. It's just amazing story. We filmed Lynn for the documentary. We're going to film her for the series. And we're moving her up into the main documentary because her story and the documentation of her story is just so powerful, especially now that we filmed the whole thing.
So being
in these, go ahead, Dr. Kiltz.
Your being here is so critical for all of us. It's a community. We hear new stories, new people coming in, and we get inspired by all of them. And my vision here that it's just going to keep on going for infinite time, and a place people can go to. My sense is that this method of sharing your story is not going away. It's going to just grow even better. And finding Carnivore is like the top of the line. We're lions, not sheep.
Oh yeah. Look at that lineup.
Yes. So Carrie, why don't you go along the line from left to right, right to left, whatever you want, and briefly introduce who's going to be there.
So Diane Ladd, MS on Carnivore, incredible. I think she's come out to 2 or 3 meetups now. I think she was in Tampa with us, and she came out to Montello Theater too, which was incredible. And we got myself, and then we got Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, who we've also filmed for the documentary. So the documentary, real quick, we have 400 hours worth of footage, and we're heads down editing everything now for the next couple months. And I was just working on editing part of it, getting things ready for our editor, and going over the footage we got with Dr. Lisa Wiedemann. Incredible. Adam Lacey, Carnivore Today, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Boz, Professor Thomas Seyfried, another one that's in the Healing Humanity documentary. We were blessed to film him. We not only filmed him out at Boston College, but we got to film most of his team as well. Like 4 or 5 people that work on his cancer research team there. And the cancer is a huge part of the documentary. And then we got Dr. Nelson, and I'm not sure the next one.
She's a chiropractor doctor. Let me see, because the name is there. Oh, they took it out.
Oh boy, Ollie.
But
Ollie, yeah.
But what she has to be constantly modifying things here. So
no, yeah. chiropractor
Heather
on
Stone.
Oh, there it is
thyroid.
up there.
Heather
Heather
Stone.
Stone. That's right.
Yes.
From we
right
she
here.
was in. We interviewed Heather in and we were in Austin. She's amazing. Yeah, she talks a lot about thyroid stuff. She's really good.
Nice. And then we got Christopher Brandlin, also known as the Carnivore Lawyer, who doing some incredible work. He's come out. He's been such a great supporter for Healing Humanity. He came out to several meetups. I know you guys have had him on your channel. I've interviewed him on my channel also. Just an incredible story as well, just individual story. So
He's putting up a meetup of his own on, I believe, it's the 19th of July in Las Vegas.
yeah,
Yeah, I will be there. I'm co-emceeing, and so it's a Healing Humanity event.
oh nice.
So I want to make sure that that's an important thing that people realize, that it's every. I mean, I'm Healing Humanity is what this mission is about. So I'm there. I am supporting, and I am there to be witness to the work you're doing.
I so appreciate it. I'm hoping I can get out there. I'll have to double check. It's getting crazy this summer. This summer's nuts.
Oh, it is. And then I will be out at the Wisconsin. We're going for an air show, and then we're going to go for Montello. Is that right?
That's the plan. Yeah, take Dr. Kiltz to the EAA, which is the world's biggest air show. I haven't been there in a couple of years, but Dave and Lynn, who we were just talking about earlier, Dave's a pilot for 35 years now. Him and Lynn are coming down. We're having the big meetup at Montello Theater, and then going to the big air show.
And I've never been to EAA, so that's where I'm excited to go.
You're gonna love it.
By the way, right on that field, 21 years ago, I broke my shoulder. There's a long story behind that. My wife pushed me. She did
you
not.
Have it coming?
But
you deserved it, right?
Right on because that's in Oshkosh, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So 21 years ago. So I'm gonna be there. Anyways, before Dr. Kiltz go, just wanted to show something else. Remember that, Dr. Kiltz?
I don't recall. I have no recollection of these events. Caleb's on my dark side right now. He sets us up. He's like, oh, come and do this stuff, and it's like, oh man.
We gotta go quick. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm done with you guys.
It's not fair. You weren't ready. You weren't ready.
Yeah. I'm never ready. I'm never ready. But again, I really want to say thank you to everyone that's here for being here, being supportive of the Healing Humanity mission. It's the stories that are critical for all of us. Share your story, even if you're not ready or don't feel comfortable with it. That's real important. But if you don't think carnivore is right for you, think again, because it's really what we're all. Basically we're not sheep, we're not pigs, we're not cows, we're lions, and you are what you eat. And when we eat like a lion, we'll be that. So to everyone, I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning everyone's name here, but I'm so grateful. I'll be at the animal show tonight. Excited about it. We're going to red carpet at 6, and the after party, which I'll probably last about 2 minutes. Again, grateful to everyone for being here. I'm gonna go hang out with my brother Ray before the Uber gets here in a couple minutes. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm hopefully going to be there tomorrow morning, Nelson. So I'll see you there. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye, Dr. Kiltz. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. You beat him fair and square. Just full disclosure, Caleb beat me, and I didn't like. I'm gonna lose one for the kid. He legitimately beat me. Like I didn't have a chance. But I'm coming back for you, Caleb. I'm gonna be practicing.
He's getting stronger, and I have to say, Adam Lacey had been asking me for a couple of hours. Yeah, you gotta go and do this with Dr. Kiltz? No way, because I know he's gonna beat me. So anyways, I may have surprised him with.
Your speed.
All right.
Speed
So
beat the power.
let me see. Any questions for Carrie? Put them in the chat. I think I've gotten some of the ones. I'm skipping over just the comments. If you didn't put QQQ, I haven't seen it. Oh, let me put this one up.
Caleb.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for bringing the table too. I think did anybody even resist Dr. Baker enough?
I don't think it. Well, Caleb, it looked like it was a little close for about a second with Caleb and Dr. Baker, but I think he cleaned house with everyone else.
Yeah. All right, so let's take some questions here. Let's start from the top. So, talking about Caleb, he had the first question.
How was it working out with Dr. Baker? Great question, Caleb. It was incredible, and it was completely unplanned. I was there wearing my pants I wear to church, trying to get dressed nice. There was no plan to work out with Dr. Baker. The plan was to film Dr. Baker working out, and to film Dr. Baker cooking, and to film Dr. Baker podcasting. We already filmed the main sit-down interview with him in Austin last year, but he insisted, and it was incredible. I'm glad we were able to do multiple things. We actually ended up spending 6 hours with him instead of just 2 hours filming, and most of it was working out. I'm thankful that I'm still alive afterwards, because like it was intense. But it was also, I'll say this, it was an incredible inspiration. No flattery there either. It's incredible. Almost 60. He kept saying, "Come on, old man, let's go here," talking to himself, Dr. Baker. And he did all of these workouts, so much that you guys didn't see in that little YouTube video. Literally, he worked out on all of his workout equipment. And then he lifted 500 pounds across his driveway and back. And then after all of that, he took us down the road to the track, and he was sprinting, which is kind of a big no-no if you're doing heavy weightlifting all day and then sprinting. And it's just an absolute inspiration. That guy's such a competitor, so competitive and passionate about that. But
okay, so the next question, I know you've never had this question.
I wonder what it is.
Close to you.
When will the documentary premiere? What's the best way to get it to my local theater? So the documentary will be out in 2026. It'll be well worth the wait. The reason it's taking long, and actually it's not taking long, frankly, just a lot of people don't understand how long it takes to film a documentary, but we filmed several people over the course of a year. In fact, we're going to be filming Bill Knott almost 2 years later. But if you're going to film people over the course of a year, it's going to add a lot of time onto your production of your documentary. But we filmed 400 hours worth of footage all over the world, and we filmed for both the documentary and the series. The best way to get it in your local theater, we're not quite to that stage yet, but that is the goal, is to get it in most of the local small town theaters. Our plan is to try to get it on the big screen and then stream it. And we're hoping to stream it. It's probably going to be like a hybrid where maybe it'll appear on one streaming network for a month and then the others. But the goal isn't to make a penny off of it. The goal is to get the biggest reach we can and make it as accessible to as many people as we possibly can. And you can email us. What's my email? Carrie@healinghumanity.movie in terms of getting in your local theater. But I think as we get closer, we'll have an announcement about that. If you want to try to get it in your little small town theater, for example, we'll have sort of a process for that.
Have you looked into how many small theaters? Very often they're like dollar movies, or used to be. I know of two closer to me, and they used to be where they show the dollar movies. Usually movies that are still in the theaters, but they've been on other theaters for 3 months maybe, and then now they're available. But do you know how many of those we have across the country? The world famous Montello
like
theater?
The world famous Montello. Yeah. I may be getting this wrong because I'm horrible with numbers, but I think there's around 5,000 small town, like independent theaters. There's actually an alliance, like a group that we're a part of, and I'm pretty sure it was right around that number. There's a big dwindling of them, though. A couple of years ago, 10, 15 years ago, they switched from film to digital, and sadly, a lot of those theaters went bankrupt because they couldn't afford $50,000 or $100,000 to upgrade to a digital projector. So we lost a lot of the theaters. But I always encourage people, look around in your state. If you have to drive like a half an hour or something, it's really fun to go to a small historic theater where you can meet the owners versus just going to like the big box theater where you got to pay $46 for tickets and $100 for concessions and watch 3 hours worth of trailers beforehand. It's a lot funner going to a little small town theater.
Okay, Sharon McCabe asks, do you know of any group hospitalization insurance for carnivores before Medicare, ages 45 to 65? Now, I believe you interviewed some time ago someone that was promoting some kind of crowdfunding type of insurance. And there's a few types. I know there's a few types. Some of them are Christian type of insurance. I forget the names, or there are two of them that I know of, and others that are sort of crowdfunded. Do you remember interviewing someone that was promoting some kind of alternative? It's not quite insurance, but
yes, you reminded me. The Texas boys who came to one of our meetups, they were talking about some sort of group insurance. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm just looking real quick. Maybe I can find it on one of their recent videos. I don't know if they have it in their description here. But yeah, that was the Texas boys. Let's see here.
And it wasn't specifically for carnivores. I'm just aware that there are several alternatives to regular insurance. They're usually crowdfunded, and basically it's sort of a co-op of people who share the expenses of major medical events.
Yep.
And
yeah,
usually you get a catastrophic type of insurance policy. It's very cheap, but you have very large co-pays and things like that. And then you share the expenses of office visits and emergency room hospitalizations, things like that.
Yep. Yeah, TD and Faith, the Texas boys YouTube channel, they were talking about one. I couldn't find the name. I don't remember the name, but you might want to check them out. But I think there's a couple, like Dr. Nelson said, a couple options for things like that.
All righty. Bo Lloyd, Lloyd looks like it. 2 weeks on carnivore, eating a ton of fat, and get very tired in the afternoons where I need a nap. Is this just an adjustment period? Thanks. What do you think?
I think this is just an adjustment period, or maybe you need a nap, but probably if you're in the first 2 weeks, a lot of people get a little fatigued, a little tired. Want to make sure you're getting enough electrolytes, especially those first couple of weeks, because your body flushes through a lot of liquids. You can flush those electrolytes out. But as our good friend Dr. Kiltz says, just take a nap too if you can. If you have the option, if you're not at work, you're not driving. I know Dr. Kiltz has been talking about this for a while. I have never napped my entire life until I started Carnivore. And it's amazing what even just a 5-minute, just quick little close your eyes and wake back up, how refreshing and regenerating that is. There's this sleep expert, Matthew Walker, and he was on Joe Rogan years ago, and I just saw him on Diary of a CEO, and he was just talking about this very thing, how rejuvenating just even a short couple-minute nap can be. But yeah, it is probably just your adjustment period. I'm sure you'll get over it. Make sure you get enough electrolytes.
All righty. Larry Ryan, I read a question. I've met Gary at 2 meetups, and we bonded because we are both fathers of one child, and then our wives had triplets. My kids are older, though.
Nice. Hey, Larry, nice to see you again. What are the odds of that, too, by the way? Small world. Small world. In the carnivore community, too.
And completely unexpected for you, I guess, because there was no history in the family of multiple births.
Completely unexpected. Yeah. No history, no multiples in the family. And it was just natural birth. And it was really unexpected too, because for one reason or another, Jen didn't get her ultrasound till like 5 months in carnivore. She wasn't carnivore then, till 5 months of pregnancy. So she had her ultrasound really late. And that was when we found out. It was quite a shock when the ultrasound tech said, uh-oh, there's another one in there.
You're making plans for one, and anybody who's a parent knows that, it's an exciting period, but also can become a difficult period making the plans. And all of a sudden, oh yeah, just make sure you're ready for 3, not
Yeah.
1.
The diaper expense alone for the 3 was astronomical. Just crazy. I remember I worked. I was working at a job. It was like a computer job in an office, and the office they were wonderful. They were great. And when they heard I was having triplets, everyone chipped in, and I went into the conference room, and there were stacks of diapers like to the roof. They had all chipped in. It was so nice of them. There were so many of them, and it was like nothing. They like hardly lasted at all. We went through so many diapers as first couple of weeks.
Yeah, when I was born, they didn't exist. There were the cloth diapers.
Right.
So my mom was washing all the time. Okay. Litterford Schoolhouse. What is the likelihood of carnivore increasing fertility after 40? Well, we didn't ask this to Dr. Kiltz, but I think Carrie even knows the answer.
I think the likelihood is very good. Very good. I've talked to so many people on carnivore that testosterone rates go up. Dr. Kiltz has talked about it forever. Fertility, everything. I'll just say this real quick. I get a lot of people, Dr. Nelson, that say, Carrie, the only reason you healed on carnivore is because you got rid of all that junk food. And that is, of course, true. That is, of course, part of the puzzle. But I think the other part of the puzzle is we fix our hormones. We fix, by getting that fatty meat that's been demonized for so long, it helps with our hormones. I know my testosterone went up drastically after starting carnivore. My sleep improved. All of those things are related to our hormones. And I've heard it over and over again from so many people. Dante Ferrigno, too, the testosterone improvements and things like that when you're going on a carnivore diet.
And I think a couple of people made the comment that their testosterone had gone up as well. So, but definitely, the answer is yes. We've heard many of the stories. I think famously, sorry for someone ringing the bell, and my dog goes crazy.
I know how that goes.
I think it's Dr. Berry has a story. Someone was mad at him because they got pregnant.
Yeah, right.
So it's a very good chance. Hold on.
Okay, well, Dr. Nelson's doing that. It looks like the next question is from Lorraine Baxter. Is the movie going to stream for those of us down under? Absolutely. That is the plan. Like I said earlier, we're trying to make it as accessible to everyone as possible. We're not trying to just make money off of it and have it stream on one service. So oftentimes what happens with a documentary like this is it has a hybrid release where it's on a couple different streaming services. And then once it goes through that all of those streams, we want it to be available to as many people as possible. So if we had to even just release it ourselves or eventually put it up on YouTube or something like that, depending on the terms with the different streaming services, our plan is to try to get it out to everyone.
The nuance to your comment is that your purpose is not necessarily to make a profit, but you need to make a profit at least to cover the expenses of this thing happening, because otherwise it's not going to be you're not going to be able to put it out there without having some revenue.
Yeah, that's the tricky part. We've been able to raise an incredible amount for the documentary so far, but that's another big misconception. People don't realize how expensive it is to film a documentary, especially when you're following people over the course of a year and traveling all around the world and you're doing it professionally. We've got 3 cameras at each shoot that we're doing. But the real expensive part is the marketing. So we're hoping that it does generate some revenue, mainly for the series. I'm more excited about the series than I am the documentary. And there's been a couple of people that we wanted to film that we haven't been able to yet. We have the funds in the bank, but those funds have to get allocated for editing and marketing the main documentary, or they're not going to be there later down the road when we need it.
Will you care to share the cost of the editing?
Yes, the cost of the editing comes out to about $1,000 per finished minute. So for, say, a 90-minute documentary, or say a documentary is not going to be 90 minutes, by the way, either. Say for a 2-hour documentary, 120 minutes is $120,000, and that's just for editing it. There's also color grading, sound, making it handicap accessible. There's a whole very expensive process with movies called packaging, where you have to package it together so that it meets all of these different handicap accessible requirements. And the packaging is also sort of different formats for different screens and things like that you have to do. So it's expensive. When I initially made that announcement we talked about earlier, Dr. Nelson, in my head, it's like, we'll just film this thing on the iPhone, we'll throw it up on YouTube, which is certainly an option, but we don't want to do that anymore. We want to reach millions of people because we know the healing power of these stories. So we're trying to go as big as we possibly can to get it out to as many people as possible. But I was going to say, what I'm really excited for after this is the series. There's quite a few people that we want to film, including Dr. Nelson and his story for the series. We talked about that a little bit in Tampa. Another one is Hal Cranmer. I don't know if you guys have had him on your show yet, Dr. Nelson, but Hal Cranmer is the gentleman in Arizona that runs the long-term care facilities.
I don't think we've had him. I would like to definitely have him.
That guy is a hero, in my opinion. Absolutely incredible. People going to those long-term care facilities, sadly, frankly, you go there to die. That's your last home before you pass on, usually. And he's feeding them proper human diet, and many of them are going home. In fact, one of them went back home and he's surfing now. And we've got permission to film him, and actually one of the people that went home and is surfing. So we're hoping to do that, but that's one of the ones that sadly has to wait until after the documentary's done, kind of thing.
So you mentioned a minute ago that one of the things in Carnivore is the things that you don't eat, and of course the things that you do eat. And fat, for example, is antimicrobial. Butter doesn't really get moldy unless if it gets moldy, it's because there was some water, maybe condensation. That's the only time it might. You can have beef tallow, lard, and all these fats on the counter for months and months. Now, among the things that you do eat are things with almost anything that comes in a box, a can, a box, a bag, or a can. Includes some type of preservative or multiple preservatives. So I'm running an experiment. This has been in the house for going on 6 months. Bought it for New Year's cookout that we did at my son's house. I was grilling, and all the hot dogs were eaten without nobody using bread. And I do have a bag of burger buns. I think there were 2 missing. Everybody ate just the burgers. But will you believe that in 6 months, this still does not have any mold? Okay.
Really?
6 months in what used to be a bread basket, and there is still no. Would you eat that? Even if you ate bread, which I know you don't, but even if you ate bread, if I tell you that particular bread has been out for 6 months and is as new, will you eat it?
No.
All right. So, unfortunately, we're coming up on the hour almost. So I want to give you an opportunity for the people who are here. And by the way, 177. I think we have over 200 because this doesn't count some of the channels we have. People, all because you were going to be here. See, Carrie?
Yay.
It's not me. I get no respect. Where can we go if someone wants to? And I don't have that link. I can put it later in the description. Where can we go to donate for the documentary? Because we need to put this out there. And I'm excited about the series as well, because you're going to dedicate whole episodes to either a person or a disease. And I think the more programs like this that are out there, the more we can spread the word and the stories that matter, like Dr. Kiltz said.
Yeah.
So where can they go?
Yeah, so if you're interested in supporting the documentary, it's donate.healinghumanity.movie. And every penny goes to the documentary. I've been doing this almost 2 years now. Don't take a single paycheck from any of that. And the other thing I'll mention real quick too is you can also, and I encourage everyone to do this, if you go to healinghumanity.movie /testimony, healinghumanity.movie /testimony, I think there's a link in my description too. You can share your story, because we're looking for more stories for both the series that Dr. Nelson just mentioned, and we're also doing a Healing Humanity book. And the book, I'm hoping, Dr. Nelson, will end up being like the size of a phone book. Does anyone remember phone books here? I want it to be like 10,000 carnivore testimonies. So the book is going to have every major chapter, and then it's going to just have story after story after story of healing. A lot of them are from YouTube comments, but others are from people submitting them. And that's what we're looking for right now, is for people to submit them. So if you go to healinghumanity.movie /testimony, you could share your healing story, and hopefully we'll get it in the book and potentially reach out to you for the series as well, that we hope to just keep doing the series ongoing forever. So.
All righty. And how we talked a bit about the meetup, but in general, what do you think about the meetups? And I know for a fact that maybe they're not a major source of revenue for the documentary. Hopefully we come out at least even in some of those, but otherwise, what is the importance of those events, the community, the people that go there? What do you think?
The meetups are incredible. I highly encourage everyone, get to a meetup, go to a meetup, host a meetup. It doesn't cost any money. You don't have to pay for a meetup. You can go meet in the park, bring your own meat. You can just go meet and chat people. You don't even have to eat. The meetups have been incredible. I'm addicted to them. Every time you go there, you're with a group of people that have gotten a second chance at life. They've been through something hard like you have. The energy is always great. The really cool thing, Dr. Nelson, that I have learned is we go and do these meetups. I think we've done maybe a dozen of them for Healing Humanity so far. We do that meetup, and then when we leave, that group stays there. I was just talking to Low Carb Barb, and she just met someone at one of our meetups, and she's like, she's going to get dinner with them tonight. And these groups form in each of the areas we go to. It's pretty cool way to spread the word about carnivore. So many people go to them too, and they're like, I had no idea there were so many other carnivores in my area, and they often become friends with each other and spread the word going forward. So meetups are awesome. Join them.
Barb is definitely she has 3 she's been, or maybe even 4.
Yeah,
already.
she was in Tampa. She just did Meat Stock and I think Yuma, Tennessee also. So 3 of them, and she's going to be at Meat Stock next year as well. And she's coming up to, we got to shout this one out, Dr. Nelson. She's coming to the Syracuse one. I think she's helping Alia with some things there. So, yeah, I don't know if we said this before, but drkiltz.com, awesome website. I was, just real quick, because I know we're at the end, when I was researching carnivore, I don't know how many times I came across Dr. Kiltz's website. Great resource for all sorts of questions carnivore. But on the front page of drkiltz.com is, I think, all of these meetups we're talking about. So you can check, see if there's one in your area.
And she has a question for you. And we normally go into 4 we don't have a time limit. We will end in a couple of minutes, but she has a question for you.
How old is your oldest? Oh, how is your oldest daughter doing? Oh, thank you. I thought you said how old is she? My oldest daughter, Lily, is doing well. She's doing amazing. She's at work right now. I'm happy that she graduated high school. She's working and she's healthy. She is, every time I talk to her, Dr. Nelson and Barb, she's carnivore, but she goes like this sometimes. She'll go strict carnivore, and then all of a sudden, it's funny too, because she'll be like, I don't understand why so-and-so is not carnivore. It's just so dumb not to be carnivore. And then she'll have a little slip up here or there. But for the most part, she's doing really, really well. All of my girls are. It just blows my mind that they're all eating proper human diet. Now, my daughter, Katie, she is, she's probably 95% carnivore, little ketovore. But they're all eating proper human diets. They're all thriving. And they're all the girls. I was talking to Low Carb Barb about this before. There's so much more zen. There used to be so much just drama, like teenage drama and arguing. There's a little bit of that now, but they're just much more relaxed. It's so much nicer.
I have a little bit of pity for you because you're alone in that household of 5. A household of 6. We're not going to get into more details than that. Rick, I organize it. We'll meet together. You don't have to put up any money. Let's just find a place to just meet. I'll be there. But I know it's not Southeast Florida. It's South Central Florida, I guess. Melbourne. Mitch is going. Mike Seeley is organizing it with Mitch, and we're gonna be with Mitch right after the weekend of the Boston meetup that Wednesday in Melbourne. So sort of sprung up in the last few days, and I'll be there. Dr. Kiltz will probably be there. He's not always in Florida, so he still doesn't know where he's going to be, but he'll be there if he can. I already committed to being there. But Rick, we would like to meet you. I'll go dress as Uncle Fester if you want. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Carrie, for being with us. I'll see you in Boston in a couple of weeks. And good luck with the documentary. We're all excited to see it. As soon as it come out, we'll make plans somewhere to go and see it. Maybe I'll fly to Montello. Are you still planning to do the premiere?
Oh, 100%. It's going to be the first place it plays. I've already a little sneak peek. I've already watched some of it myself on the screen there. But yeah, when it premieres for real, it's going to happen right there for sure. So yeah, we'd love to have you out. And thank you so much for having me, Dr. Nelson. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for being here, and goodbye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.